Hey everyone, this is an update to the parking situation at the Tijuana Airport. I actually today drove in through the San Isidro border crossing, so now I'm headed over to the airport. One of the things I do now, there's two long-term parking lots at the airport. They're right before you enter the airport. So what I'm going to do right now is I'll show you, if you're driving towards the airport, let me show you how you get there. So I'm just following the instructions that it gives you to drive to the airport. And if you've driven there before from San Isidro, you've probably recognized this street. Up ahead, it's gonna make us turn into the street that actually takes you right to the airport. It's right at the end. If you get an idea, it's right there. That's where we're gonna turn. So I'm headed over there now. There was some construction going on last time I was here. But it didn't affect it at all. Now there's two long-term parking at the airport, and I'm gonna keep it here for a little bit. One is 200 pesos for every 24 hours, and the other one is 250 pesos for every 24 hours. Now, to be honest, there's really not much difference. The only difference is one is actually bigger and one is smaller, and the one that's bigger is actually cheaper. It's a little bit farther, but either way, you're taking a shuttle. And because you're taking a shuttle, you actually get picked up at that one before the other one, but you also get dropped off at that one before the other one. So check this out. Here we go. We're right at the border now. Airport's here to my right. This is the construction I was talking about that they're doing. And there we go. The airport is right here to my right. And we're coming up to the long-term parking, the first of the two, which is the cheaper, and that's the one that I always use. Not because it's cheaper, but because it's easier to pay. I'll explain that in a little bit right now. But here we go, look. It's right here's the entrance. It says public parking right here. It's long-term parking. And you'll notice a sign that says 250, keep going, pesos, or 200 pesos, and go into this parking. Again, I always take this parking for 200 pesos. Let's go in here. And when you park here at the airport, all you gotta do, it's gonna take a picture of your license plate, which you just did. And then you get your ticket. You get that. There we go. I'm gonna need this ticket because that's what I need to when I check out. All right. Now they just did covered parking here not too long ago. So if you were here prior to that, that was a couple months back, but they have covered parking all along. I'm gonna do something. Normally I just go to parking here real quick. But to give you an idea how much parking there is, look at this. Now the spaces are very tight. You'll notice, watch, I'll give you an idea. Spaces are very tight, but you fit fine. But more importantly, look at all the parking you've got available to you. I'm purposely gonna go a little bit farther. Look at all the parking you have available. Today is a Wednesday morning, flying out to Guadalajara for business trip. But look, gives you an idea of how well you can find parking, how easy you can find parking, right? So I'm gonna go back here. To be honest, usually I park up here to the end of it is where I park, or I park right when I come in. So I parked my car here. Like I said, it's a little tight in the areas, but the entrance is right there. So I usually come straight through and see if there's parking right here or immediately to the right when I come in. I get a lot of questions on the videos that I post about parking here. The shuttle shows up roughly about at most 15 minutes intervals. In other words, I've been here and I've had to wait 15 minutes before something shows up, but there's other times when I've gotten here and it's waited for me to get out of my car. It just varies, but you're never waiting more than 15 minutes because it has to go to the other stops and drop off people and pick people up. The other thing is, the reason why I park here is when I pay for parking, there's always a cashier at this one. There's not always a cashier at the other one, but they do have the ability to pay at the machines, right? So you can pay at the machines there, and they also have some restrooms here, which I'm gonna use right now. But anyway, you can pay on the machines, but they also have a cashier, and it's credit card only. So this is the little waiting area. As you can see, it's got some seats, and they got both a men's bathroom and a women's bathroom over here. They got the flight information in case you're flying out, gives you an idea what's happening with your flight. And here's the machines. And I lied, I'm sorry. You can pay cash as well. But like I said, you can go over here, and if the machines aren't working, there's always a cashier that can help you. And there's also security. You can see the security's here. Security's 24/7. I've arrived at 1, 2 in the morning, and there's always security guards here. And they block the exit so people don't leave, one, without paying, and two, making sure that there's some safety to it. And there's the shuttle. I was only here about 4 minutes before it arrived, waiting for the people to get off. And it's got room for your luggage, of course. I'm gonna be getting on now. And there's the video on the inside. She doesn't want to come out, but there's the video that shows you how many seats it's got. So it's got a lot of room. And what it'll do, it's gonna go to the next stop, which is the one that's 250 pesos for 24 hours. And again, the only difference is one's farther than the other, but as you can see, it's a shuttle, so it really doesn't make a difference. Yet on the way back, it's gonna drop you off first. Right, so if you want to stay at the one that's a little bit closer to Hawaii, stay at that one every once in a while. I have been able sometimes to be able to get there and walk to the airport, and sometimes it's maybe a 10-minute walk. So it actually, if you're in a hurry, park at the one that's 250, you'll be able to walk and make it to the airport in less than 10 minutes. And here's the other one. As you can see, it's 250 pesos. Now this one's a lot smaller, right? We get here to see if there's any people here. So this one's same thing, but it's a lot smaller. And it's always pretty much kind of at capacity. Now when I have parked here, it's been on occasions they do have a machine where you can pay, but sometimes the machine doesn't work, and I've had to literally go back to the other place to pay with my credit card and then come back here. So again, it just makes it easier. Now, if I am in a hurry, I'm running a little bit late, I can walk there, and you can see it's got a covered walkway all the way to the airport. Just take that curb, walk it over there, and it's on the safe side. In other words, you're not walking by the cars. There's actually a wall there, but you can walk there to the airport. I've walked it. It's maybe about a 7-minute walk. It's pretty close because the airport's just right there. I did get a question. They asked me if there was any additional charges for the shuttle. There is not. The shuttle's free. I have yet to come once where the shuttle's been full and I've had to wait for the next shuttle. That's never happened. I'm not saying it doesn't. I don't know. But I'm saying, at least for me, it's never happened that way. There is no charge. And you just wait till it shows up, get on it and go, and then it drops you off. Once in a while, I'll tip the guys if there's some baggage that they help me with and everything, I'll tip. I don't always tip, but of course, that's always a good thing to do. So here's the airport. When you walk out, of course, usually you get picked up out front. But when you walk out, just turn to the left, come all the way to the very end, and there's the parking spot for the shuttle. This shuttle is the only one that parks in that spot. So if you don't see something there, it's because it hasn't gotten here yet. But like I said, it's only about every 15 minutes at most that you're gonna be waiting. So again, you come over, free shuttle, takes you straight over to the airport. How long did it take me? 7 minutes by the time from when it picked me up to when I got here. So the airport parking that's attached to the airport, if you want to call it that, is right there. I normally don't park there. One, because it's just the cost is much more than what it is here. And as you saw, the convenience of going from the shuttle to here is a lot easier sometimes for me. So if you're coming to Tijuana, you're gonna fly out of Tijuana and you wanna cross into Tijuana if you have Sentry, which I do, or maybe you just wanna come across CBX. I have other videos if you wanna see those, how you do CBX. But to come into Tijuana, so I have a company car with US plates. I'm not stopped or asked for any type of identification or insurance or registration. That's never happened. And I'm talking, I've probably done this over, I'd say 100 times over the last 2 years. So you would just park, long-term parking, take the shuttle over. Again, it's 200 pesos, which is roughly about what, $11, $12 for every 24 hours, which I think is really good. It's economical, it's safe, and it's convenient. So check it out, try it out. So I gotta go check into my flight. If you guys like this video, please like it, subscribe as well, because I'm gonna be posting an update on CBX as well as kind of when you get to the airport, what you gotta be careful with. All right, hope everyone's doing well. Stay blessed. God bless.